Hi everyone, this is Bojian, and here is my final presentation. Game controller is an important part of game console. Game controller is the medium of the interaction between virtual world and players. Its design and layout determine the user experience. But the modern controller in our hands has been improved for decades to become what it is. So I will introduce a few game controller with significance of cross-era design. So first, let's talk about the first video game, Space War. Space War was developed in 1962. It's actually a game panel, not a controller, as you can see. The problem is obvious. Player cannot remember which is function key, which is direction key. But after that, the control box was designed for this game. This box has two switches and one button. The vertical switches control the up and down direction, and the horizontal switch control the left and right direction. And the bottom is a function key to fire. So this control box changed the problem that player cannot remember the key function. It also lays the foundation for the design of the cross-direction key in the future. In 1972, first console was released. It's called Odyssey. This console can play a game called Pong. Pong is a two-player game. To control the screen on both sides of simulation table tennis racket to play the game. When the player rotates this knob stuff, the table tennis racket in the game will move up and down. And also at that time, this knob stuff called panel controller. In 1977, Atari company designed a game console called Atari 2600. This console takes the road body as central axis, the bottom as supporting point, and the central axis moving around the supporting point as the center of the circle. And also this controller can move in 80 direction. There are up, down, left, right, up, left, after up, right, down, left, and down, right. So since then, the world first generation joystick was born. In 1980, Nintendo designer want to put a popular joystick on the game controller, but due to the budget requirement, it was relatively expensive to put joystick on the controller. So the final answer given by the designer is the D-pad. We call the full name is directional pad. A classic design that can realize the thumb operation, small volume switch, and full direction control was born. PlayStation DualShock. In 1997, this controller composed of 14 buttons, including D-pad, two joystick, function button, shoulder button, an internal shock function, and analog button. The development of joysticks is different from the Atari's switch type joystick at that year. It had an analog function. This design means that joystick is no longer a simple switch state. The control effect depends on the size of driving distance. After pressing the analog key, the simulation function of joystick is able. And the effect of joystick is same as that of the D-pad after turning off. So that a modern controller with perfect function was born. after game controller interface layout did not have too much change. Just like nowadays PlayStation controller and Xbox One controller. The icon of the function key is different, but the function itself is kind of same. So I believe that design of the game controller is changed with the video game of different times. Today's design can meet operation step for most game, but it doesn't mean that the game controller has no direction to evolve. I believe that with the change of technology, the game controller will enter the next era. Thanks for watching.